Good morning, I am VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a 3-day visit to Poland and Ukraine today. UPSC cancels advertisement for lateral entry in bureaucracy following government's direction. EPFO adds 19.29 lakh net members in June this year. India calls on Japan to remove regulatory bottlenecks for sharing critical technologies. 2-day India-EU regional conference to discuss online radicalisation to begin today in New Delhi. And International Cricket Council shifts 9th Women's T20 World Cup to UAE from Bangladesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a 3-day visit to Poland and Ukraine today. In Warsaw, Mr. Modi will be accorded a ceremonial welcome. The Prime Minister will hold talks with his Polish counterpart Donald Tusk and will call on President Andrzej Duda. Mr. Modi will also interact with the Indian community, business leaders and prominent Indologists. More from our correspondent.
This will be the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Poland in the past 45 years. The visit is taking place at a time when both nations are marking the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. Mr. Modi will also visit memorials that commemorate the special relation of Poland with Jamnagar and Kolhapur. The Prime Minister will undertake an official visit to Ukraine on 23rd of this month on the invitation of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This will be the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Ukraine after establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries in 1992. The Prime Minister's engagement in Kyiv will touch a range of aspects of bilateral ties including political, trade, economic, investments, education, cultural, people-to-people exchanges, humanitarian assistance and others. Mr. Modi will also interact with the Indian community including students with Anupam Mishra, Pallavi Parmar, Akashvani News, Delhi.
Union Public Service Commission UPSC has cancelled the advertisement related to lateral entry in the bureaucracy following the directions from the Department of Personnel and Training. Earlier yesterday, the government asked the UPSC to cancel the advertisement related to lateral entry in the bureaucracy. This comes a few days after UPSC issued an advertisement to appoint 45 joint secretaries, directors and deputy secretaries in central ministries, which was questioned by the opposition parties. Responding on the issue, Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that the decision to align lateral entry with principles of reservation shows Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commitment to social justice.
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हमेशा सामाजिक न्याय के प्रति अपनी प्रतिबद्धता दिखाई है। मोदी जी के सैचुरेशन के प्रिंसिपल से, जिसमें देश में सभी वेलफेयर प्रोग्राम्स को गरीब से गरीब, वंचित से वंचित वर्ग तक पहुंचाया गया, उससे भी अधिकतम लाभ हमारे एससी, एसटी और ओबीसी वर्गों को मिला है। 2014 से पहले किस तरह से यूपीए की सरकार, कांग्रेस के जो निर्णय होते थे उनमें रिजर्वेशन के प्रिंसिपल्स का कोई ध्यान नहीं रखा जाता था।
Employees Provident Fund Organization EPFO has added 19.29 lakh net members in June this year, registering a growth of 7.86% in comparison to the same month of last year. Ministry of Labour and Employment said that the surge in membership can be attributed to numerous factors, including increased employment opportunities. The data indicates that around 10.25 lakh new members have enrolled during June this year. A noticeable aspect of the data is the dominance of the 18 to 25 age group, constituting a significant 59.14% of the total new members added in June this year. The payroll data highlights that approximately 14.15 lakh members exited and subsequently rejoined EPFO. This figure depicts year-over-year growth of 11.79% compared to June last year. BJP has appointed party leader Ram Madhav and Union Minister G. Kishan Reddy as election in charge for the upcoming Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. The Union Territory will go to polls in 3 phases on 18th and 25th of September and the 1st of October. Jammu and Kashmir has witnessed a significant increase of over 93,000 new voters due to corresponding rise in the number of young and women voters. The number of polling stations across the Union Territory has also gone up by 209. This came to fore as special summary of 40 electoral rolls with qualifying date July 1st, 2024 was successfully completed in all 20 districts of J&K. As per the special summary, revision 2024 completed with publication of the final electoral roll, the total number of electors stands at 88.03 lakhs. These include 44.89 lakh males, 43.13 lakh females, and 168 third gender electors. Chief Electoral Officer P.K. Pol appealed to all eligible voters across Jammu and Kashmir to exercise their franchise on the polling days in their respective constituencies and strengthen democracy in the Union Territory. In Uttar Pradesh, a Sultanpur district court has ordered UP police to arrest and produce Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh in the court on the 28th of this month in a 2-decade-old case of road blockade protest. The court took strong objection on Sanjay Singh's failure to surrender after his conviction and avoiding case hearings. Earlier on the 13th of this month, a non-bailable warrant was issued against Singh, SP leader Anup Sanda, and 4 others, with the hearing scheduled for yesterday. The accused, however, did not appear before the court. This is Akashwani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle @AIR News Alerts. India has called on Japan to remove regulatory bottlenecks that exist in sharing of critical technologies. At the third 2+2 dialogue in New Delhi yesterday, India and Japan agreed to prepare a new framework for security cooperation in line with the desire to further expand the overall strategic ties. Indian delegation at the talks was headed by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Japanese team was led by Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa and Defence Minister Kihara Minoru. In his remarks, Dr. Jaishankar said both sides discussed the unfolding new avenues for technology, research and industrial cooperation, including in the field of defence. Dr. Jaishankar said that a free, open and rules-based Indo-Pacific is the top priority for both the countries.
A free, open and rules-based Indo-Pacific is the top priority for both our countries. We discussed the unfolding new avenues for technology, research and industrial cooperation between us as well. The growth of technology also necessitates human resource cooperation, semiconductors being a very good example. This is crucial for our diversification and de-risking efforts, for our economic and technology security overall, and for sustained economic resilience of the world.
He also announced India's decision to establish a new consulate in the Japanese city of Fukuoka. Japanese Foreign Minister said India and Japan reaffirmed their commitment to object to unilateral attempts to change the status quo by force and uphold the free and open international order based on the rule of law. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar will address the inaugural session of the 19th CII India-Africa Business Conclave in New Delhi today. The theme of the 3-day conclave is Creating One Future. The conclave focuses on areas such as trade, investment, infrastructure, healthcare and technology. The conclave began yesterday. More than 1,100 international delegates from 65 countries, out of which 47 are African nations, are participating in the conclave. A 2-day EU-India Track 1.5 conference will begin today in New Delhi. India and the European Union will host the regional conference to discuss current and emerging threats to online radicalisation and find ways to jointly counter the exploitation of online spaces by extremist and terrorist actors. The conference will bring together experts, policy makers, academia and law enforcement officials from South Asia and Europe who are at the forefront of the fight against digital extremism. The conference aims to enhance counter-terrorism dialogues and partnerships in the region consistent with the EU's Indo-Pacific strategy, which foresees a deeper and stronger engagement with partners that share common goals and face common challenges. India's designated authority for cross-border trade has approved an additional 251 megawatts of power exports from 12 hydropower projects in Nepal. For the first time, Nepal would be exporting power to Bihar through a medium-term power sales agreement. This takes the total allowed quantum of 690 megawatts from 16 projects to 941 megawatts from 28 projects. In October 2021, India approved 39 megawatts of power exports from Nepal to India for the first time. In less than 3 years, this figure has grown by more than 24 times. Nepal first began its power exports by selling in the day-ahead market of the India Energy Exchange. Indian Ambassador Dr. Suhail Ejaz Khan presented his credentials to President Rashid Al Alimi in Aden, marking the first visit by an Indian ambassador to Yemen in nearly a decade. The historic occasion reinforces diplomatic ties between India and Yemen, with Ambassador Khan emphasizing India's commitment to supporting Yemen's peace, stability and development. President of Yemen, Al Alimi, expressed his desire to further strengthen bilateral relations, recalling Yemen's long-standing ties with India. India Meteorological Department IMD has issued orange alert warning for rainfall over eastern, northeastern and southern parts of the country for the next few days. According to IMD, heavy to very heavy rainfall is expected over West Bengal, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura till the 25th of this month. IMD has issued orange alert in 6 districts of Kerala today, indicating isolated heavy to very heavy rainfall. Orange alert has been issued in Pathanamthitta, Kottayam, Idukki, Malappuram, Kozhikode and Wayanad districts. The weather department has asked fishermen not to venture into the sea as squally weather with wind speeds reaching up to 55 kilometers per hour is likely to prevail along and off the coast of Kerala and Lakshadweep. The International Cricket Council (ICC) has moved the 9th edition of Women's T20 World Cup to the United Arab Emirates (UAE) from Bangladesh, while the Bangladesh Cricket Board (BCB) will continue as the official host of the event. The tournament will take place across the 2 venues in the UAE, Dubai and Sharjah from October 3rd to 20th. ICC Chief Executive Jeff Allardyce confirmed the decision in a statement, expressing disappointment that the tournament could not be hosted in Bangladesh as originally planned. In wrestling, India's Ronak Dahiya clinched a bronze in the Greco-Roman 110 kilogram category at the ongoing Under-17 World Wrestling Championships in Amman, Jordan. The current world number 2, Ronak, defeated Turkey's Amarullah Kapkan 6-1 in the bronze medal match. Earlier, Ronak had lost the semi-final bout by 0-2 against his Hungarian opponent Zoltán Zsako. International Tennis Integrity Agency (ITIA) has relieved men's world number 1 player Jannik Sinner of any period of suspension or ban in the case of 2 positive dope tests. The independent tribunal of ITIA accepted Sinner's explanation that his 2 anti-doping tests resulted positive from an over-the-counter spray that included the prohibited substance clostebol. And now, for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Shagun Chopra.
Thank you, Pramod. Most papers have on their front page images of PM Modi greeting his Malaysian counterpart Anwar Ibrahim with open arms as India and Malaysia decide to elevate their ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership. The Hindustan Times says India-Malaysia elevate partnership puts seal on crucial recruitment deal. All papers widely cover the story of the Kolkata rape and murder case. The Tribune headlines, Nation cannot await rape or murder for real changes on ground, says Supreme Court. The Hindu adds, Supreme Court forms task force to ensure safety of doctors. And finally, a story in Hindustan Times says, India begins geotagging of horseshoe crabs in a bid to chart conservation plan for key living fossil. And with that, it's back to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Shagun. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a 3-day visit to Poland and Ukraine today. UPSC cancels advertisement for lateral entry in bureaucracy following government's direction. EPFO adds 19.29 lakh net members in June this year. India calls on Japan to remove regulatory bottlenecks for sharing critical technologies. 2-day India-EU regional conference to discuss online radicalisation to begin today in New Delhi. And International Cricket Council shifts 9th Women's T20 World Cup to UAE from Bangladesh. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.